It was on September 8th in the year 1504 that Michelangelo's statue of David is unveiled to the public. One of the world's most beloved works of art, David, the 17-foot tall, 12,000-pound marble masterpiece by Michelangelo Buonarroti, is unveiled to the public in Florence, Italy's Piazza della Signoria. Carved from a single block of white Italian Carrara marble that had been rejected by other artists for being flawed, the massive statue depicts a nude David, the biblical hero who used a slingshot to slay the giant Goliath. The work was commissioned by the Opera del Duomo for the Cathedral of Florence in 1501 and took roughly 3 years to complete. The sculpture was to be part of a series of other statues to be located along the roofline of the cathedral. Michelangelo was only 26 at the time of the commission. Upon its unveiling to the Cathedral Vestry Board, it was decided by a committee that included Leonardo da Vinci and Sandro Botticelli that the statue should be placed in a more public location, plus lifting more than 6 tons of marble onto a roof added a whole other set of complications. Once decided it would reside in the piazza, it took a reported 40 men 4 days to move the massive statue 1/2 mile. While most depictions of David featured a boy, Michelangelo's version was that of a muscular man with a sling in his left hand and a rock in his right hand. The statue is widely considered one of the finest examples of high Renaissance art. In 1873, after almost 400 years, David was moved indoors to the Galleria dell'Accademia to protect it from damage. A replica remains in its place in the piazza. It was on September 8th in the year 1664 that New Amsterdam became New York. Dutch governor Peter Stuyvesant surrenders New Amsterdam, the capital of New Netherland, to an English naval squadron under Colonel Richard Nichols. Stuyvesant had hoped to resist the English, but he was an unpopular ruler, and his Dutch subjects refused to rally around him. Following its capture, New Amsterdam's name was changed to New York in honor of the Duke of York, who organized the mission. The colony of New Netherland was established by the Dutch West India Company in 1624 and grew to encompass all of present-day New York City and parts of Long Island, Connecticut, and New Jersey. A successful Dutch settlement in the colony grew up on the southern tip of Manhattan Island and was christened New Amsterdam. To legitimize Dutch claims to New Amsterdam, Dutch Governor Peter Minuit formally purchased Manhattan from the local tribe from which it derived its name in 1626. According to legend, the Manhattan's Indians of Algonquian linguistic stock agreed to give up the island in exchange for trinkets valued only at $24. However, as they were ignorant of European customs of property and contracts, it was not long before the Manhattans came into armed conflict with the expanding Dutch settlement at New Amsterdam. Beginning in 1641, a protracted war was fought between the colonists and the Manhattans, which resulted in the continuance of eternity of more than 1,000 Indians and settlers. In 1664, New Amsterdam passed to English control, and English and Dutch settlers lived peacefully together. In 1673, there was a short interruption of English rule when the Netherlands temporarily regained the settlement. In 1674, New York was returned to the English, and in 1686, it became the first city in the colonies to receive a royal charter. After the American Revolution, it became the first capital of our great country. It was on September 8th in the year 1986 that the awesome Oprah Winfrey went national. The show was broadcast for the first time on this date in 1986. A huge success, her daytime television talk show turns Winfrey into one of the most powerful, wealthy people in show business and arguably one of the most influential women in America and the world. On January 29th in 1954, the beautiful Oprah Winfrey was born in rural Mississippi to a young, unwed, and financially challenged teenage mommy. Oprah began her TV career as a local news anchor in Nashville and Baltimore before moving to Chicago in 1984 to host a low-rated morning talk program. She quickly turned the show into a ratings winner, beating out a popular talk program hosted by Phil Donahue. At the urging of the Chicago-based movie critic Roger Ebert, Winfrey signed a syndication deal with King World, and the Oprah Winfrey Show was broadcast nationally for the first time on September 8th in 1986. It went on to become the highest-rated talk show in TV history. Proving that talk show host wasn't the only role she could play, Winfrey made her big screen debut as Sophia in director Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple, based on Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel of the same name and co-starring Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover. The film earned Winfrey a Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination, although she lost the gold statue to Angelica Houston. Oprah Winfrey went on to star in and produce in 1998's Beloved, based on Toni Morrison's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, and voiced characters for 2006's Charlotte's Web and 2007's B-Movie, which co-starred and was co-written by Jerry Seinfeld. In addition to TV and film, Oprah Winfrey became and very much still is a true media mogul, branching out to books and magazines, radio, musical theater, and the web. In 2008, the Oprah Winfrey Show had an estimated weekly audience of some 46 million viewers in the United States and was broadcast around the world in 134 countries. Miss Winfrey wields enormous influence when it comes to promoting products. A recommendation on her show could turn a book, movie, or just about anything else into a bestseller, a phenomenon that has been dubbed the Oprah effect. The show ended in May 2011, several months after Winfrey launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, OWN. The historic information documented and divulged on this audio file can be verified on History.com.